Aloha and good morning. Matt Dela Cruz here with the Winning Minds Group, part of the John Maxwell team. And welcome to Mondays with Matt. Happy Monday to you. I hope you had a great weekend. Looking forward to another fantastic week this week as we kick off our favorite day of the week. That's right, Mondays with Matt. You know, I want to throw a question at you. And here's the question. What do you think the number one thing that people do to avoid and the number one thing that people fear the most? What is the number one thing that people fear and what is the number one thing people do to avoid? Now, some of you there might be thinking public speaking, going to see the dentist, doctor's appointment. Well, the answer is this: change. The number one thing that people, you, do to avoid and the number one thing you fear is change. People fear change in company policies, change in pricing if you're in sales. We always fear this change in government. And what fear is basically false evidence appearing real, as Zig Ziglar used to say. But we got to go through the change. And some of us will never get out of our comfort zone from being content and complacent, the 3 C's, right? Because we're not willing to go through the change. Well, I do know this: in order for us to go up, we have to grow up. Some of us have to give up what we got to get what we want. Think about this beautiful butterfly and how beautiful this butterfly is. And we've all seen beautiful butterflies. Butterflies are beautiful, but before they were a beautiful butterfly, they were a ugly, slimy, slippery, crawling on the ground caterpillar. And all it did was eat to find the next meal. And then it went through the process of change, the metamorphosis, from going from a caterpillar to the cocoon to a beautiful butterfly. Well, all of us have the beauty inside of us, but sometimes we're not willing to go through the pain and change. So I want to start off real quick and talk to you about the importance of change. I remember when Jim Rohn had said to me once, he says, Matt, sometimes you got to give up what you got to get what you want. And I told him at the time, and I was very, very young, and I said, well, I'm not willing to give up what I have right now to get what I want. I'm not ready for it. He says, Matt, you don't have much to give up, so now is the time to go for it. And I'll never forget when he said that. He also said, when you don't have much, you can give 100% because you have nothing to lose. So think about that for a second there as well. But I want to go through a couple things because there's really 3 things that how change is positive. Number one, change is personal, and to change your life, you must be willing to change. Because you can't change the government, right? People try to. You can't change economy. You can't change interest rates. And by no way can you change your negative relatives. But what you can do is change yourself. You see, when you change, everything will change for you. Change the way you see things, your perception. Change your mindset, change your attitude, and watch how everything will change for you. The second change is possible. Everyone can change. I mean, you can change your mind at the split of a second. You can change your flight information. You can change your destiny. You can change the way you think. You can change the way what you see. You can see anything. You can change anything. Change is possible. And the last one is change is profitable. You see, you have to be able to look at what your reward is, the outcome is if you go through the change. And the only way you can do that is you got to set that goal. Are you willing to change what you're doing right now? Are you willing to change the way you think to get what you want in the future? Here's a question for you. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would you attempt? That's a great question. That's how I get unstuck most of the time, by asking myself that question. See, a lot of people don't realize sometimes, again, it's you have to go through and do something you've never done before to get something you've never had. So in other words, it's all going through the process of change. So change is good, change is healthy, and change is life. So I want you to think about that this week. What are some of the things you have to change? Maybe it might be a bad habit. Maybe it might just be change a little bit of your attitude. Think about what you can do so you can offset it, so you can grow to reach your full potential. So until next week, live with passion, live intentionally, and so let's look at the little changes we can make so we can become the person we were meant to become. Thanks so much. Make it a great day, and we'll talk to you next week. Aloha.